And that there's also like people that are elites, and that's their thing. Like their thing is to do something that is horrible, and it's not available to other people. So it's like, I think there's like a sickness that people have when they have power, like extreme power, and then well, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else is what else is taboo? What else is forbidden?
Joe Rogan has covered some wild stories. From Hollywood breakdowns to political corruption, he's tackled it all. But when the courtroom revelations from Diddy's ongoing trial surfaced, even Rogan, known for his steel nerves and sharp commentary, was left visibly disturbed.
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
You heard about how Diddy mom came out defending him? She made a comment saying that Diddy is not a monster.
Yeah, he not a monster. She is. But I don't want to go there. But she is. She's the fucking monster. Everything in her fucking name. She's the monster. She created that, and y'all gonna see on that Netflix. Y'all just check it out.
First of all, that's his mother. Wrong, right, or indifferent, she gonna lie, steal, kill, and protect her child. That's what she's supposed to do. But the apple don't fall far from the tree, man. You gotta realize that. You know, he didn't get all this from his daddy, because he didn't know his daddy, even though they try to say his daddy was some big time drug dealer in the whole 9 yards. You understand? He didn't get this from his daddy. You gotta realize, man, you know, his mother had a modeling agency, and it was alleged that it was also ladies of the night.
There's an expression that goes like this: the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And what is this in reference to? Well, it's in reference to Janice Combs, Diddy's mother. According to Cassie Ventura, Janice Combs would keep a jar of Diddy's kids in the refrigerator, and when she would make mac and cheese, she would drizzle some on top of it and force them to eat it. That's what Cassie Ventura said, allegedly. Not only that, one of Diddy's childhood friends allegedly claims that Janice Combs would have freak-off parties of her own while Diddy watched, explaining his behavior. And now I'm going to show you a video which maybe makes me believe that it may be true. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, my mom's good. Come on, let me introduce you to my mom. Call Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrated. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too.
That's just not normal. And after seeing that, well, I'm thinking it may be accurate. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. There's the tree, and there's the apple.
Kirk Burroughs, the president at the time, a bad boy, told me that he smacked his mother. I remember we was in the car. It was me, Puff, and his mother got in the car with us. His mother got in the car, he was on the phone, and then he said to his mother, "Yo, didn't I tell you to stay out my MF business?" Yo, I want to snatch the fucking shadow off him. I said, "Boy, who you talking to?" I said, "Boy, if you ever talk to your mama like that again around me, I'm gonna beat the shit out you." "But Gene, I told her to stay out of business." Let me just say this to you right now. If she wasn't for her, you wouldn't have no business. And Miss Combs sit there and quiet as a church mouse. And he ain't say nothing. He ain't say a word, because he knew I was serious. I wasn't playing with him.
This isn't just shocking. Joe said at the top of his latest episode, it's disgusting. It's one of the ugliest things I've ever seen come out of the music world. The trial, which has been making headlines for weeks, took a dramatic turn when newly unsealed documents and testimonies were read aloud in court, and for the first time, the public got a clear picture of the behind-the-scenes chaos that had been hidden for years under Diddy's polished reputation. Joe, like many others, tuned in, and what he heard left him stunned. These aren't just rumors anymore, he said. These are official court records, signed documents, witnesses, and the stuff they're describing. It's absolutely sickening. Joe launched into the first major bombshell from the trial, a series of testimonies from former staffers who worked at Diddy's private residences and events. According to them, Diddy ran his inner circle with military precision. Every movement was scheduled, every guest was vetted, every space was watched. One former assistant testified that no one could make a move without clearance from Diddy's personal team. Think about that, Joe said. You walk into a house for what's supposed to be a party or a business meeting, and suddenly it's like you've entered a high security zone. No freedom, no privacy, and Diddy's at the center of it all. Rogan highlighted how these testimonies describe Diddy as someone obsessed with control, not just over his music or his public image, but over people. Staff members said they were forced to sign agreements that barred them from even acknowledging what they saw. Some were required to hand over their phones, follow verbal-only instructions, and work shifts that stretched for 20 hours straight. And people wonder why no one spoke up sooner, Joe said, his voice rising. Because the whole system around this guy was designed to keep everyone quiet. One of the most disturbing revelations came from a logistics coordinator who helped plan travel for Diddy and his guests. In court, they described how flight manifests were often altered at the last minute, with certain names swapped out quietly. It created confusion on purpose. According to the witness, it was Diddy's way of keeping track of everyone without letting anyone else know the full picture. Joe pulled up a copy of one of those manifests, now part of the public record. You've got people being flown across the country with no knowledge of where they're going, no clue who else will be there, and no idea what they're walking into. He said, "That's not entertainment, that's manipulation." Rogan then dove into how Diddy's power and influence kept the truth hidden for so long. "Let's not pretend this guy wasn't protected," he said. He had lawyers, execs, media allies, you name it, and they all worked overtime to keep his name clean while this mess kept growing behind the scenes. Joe pointed to multiple examples from the trial that suggested deliberate cover-ups. Evidence that should have been reported was ignored. Complaints made by staff were silenced or redirected, and in at least one instance, a whistleblower was paid a settlement under a confidentiality clause, effectively burying their story. What we're seeing here is a textbook case of someone abusing their position. He then read a portion of a deposition from a former bodyguard who described witnessing Diddy berate and pressure younger talent behind closed doors. The guard claimed the atmosphere was tense and that even well-known artists felt like they couldn't say no to him. If these big names felt trapped, imagine how the newcomers felt, Joe said. Kids trying to break into the industry told that this was the price of success, that they had to go along to get along. That's how this cycle keeps going. The trial also revealed financial records that raised red flags. Unexplained transfers, rental payments for multiple hidden properties, and company accounts tied to personal expenses. Joe held up a printout of one statement. "Look at this." This isn't even subtle, it's right there in black and white, and yet it took this long to get into court? Rogan called out the enablers directly. If you worked close to this guy and you said nothing, you helped this happen, and now the truth is finally coming out, and it's coming out fast. As Joe continued unpacking the trial's most intense moments, he acknowledged how damaging this all is, not just to Diddy's reputation, but to the music industry's credibility. We're always told this business is tough, cutthroat, whatever, but that doesn't excuse this garbage. There's a difference between business pressure and straight up abuse of power. Joe also noted how young artists watching all of this unfold might feel discouraged or betrayed. To the kids out there dreaming of making it big, let me say this. This is not normal. This is not what success looks like. Real mentors don't isolate you, threaten you, or treat you like a puppet. Real success doesn't come with secrecy and control. It comes with freedom and respect. He urged upcoming talent to demand better. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to walk away. Your voice matters more than anyone else's title or name. Before wrapping the episode, Joe shared a final series of texts that were recovered as part of the investigation. They showed a clear effort by Diddy's team to manage press coverage, push friendly narratives, and bury unfavorable stories. Even now, as the trial continues, his PR team is reportedly scrambling to contain the damage. But Joe made it clear that strategy might have worked 5 years ago, not anymore. The internet's not buying it, the public's not buying it, and frankly, I'm not either. He announced that all proceeds from this episode would be donated to nonprofit groups focused on artist protection, whistleblower support, and creative labor rights. If there's one good thing that can come out of all this, Joe said, it's that we learn to build a safer system for the next generation. With the camera still rolling, Rogan closed with a simple but powerful message. This trial isn't just about one man falling, it's about exposing the walls he built and making damn sure no one gets away with hiding behind them again.